Okay. You know how when the Bible says, wives, be submissive to your husbands? Here's the meaning of that. The meaning of that means like, be open to learning new things. Don't be narcissistic. Don't be loud and obnoxious. Don't be all up in somebody's face, and don't be all up in somebody's face and just being crazy and all that stuff. Uh don't be a hater, jealous of your husband. Like, don't be an argumentative type of woman. Be open into learning new things. Don't be toxic. Be open minded. Be open to learning new things about your learning new things from your husband. And this goes both ways too. Like, when it comes to being submissive to your husband, regardless of what that says, it doesn't have to be literally. Like, God is literally talking about both ways. The reason why God doesn't say, wives, be submissive to your husbands, and husbands, be submissive to your wives, is because the Bible would have been a million chapters longer, and ain't nobody got time for that. The Bible would last forever. You will never see the end of it. So it's like this. Like, a man can learn something from a wife, but here's the thing. But here's the thing. The Bible clearly, there's not, the Bible never says the wife has to be the husband's mom. Like, the wife has to be the husband's maid. Like, no. It does not mean in that way be submissive to your husband like that. People are just using the Bible for evil. And when it comes to being submissive to your husband, it's just really being submissive to your husband only means being open to learning new things. Being humble, being humble as in, like, being humble as in, and I'm not saying this as a way to shut women down and saying that women cannot express their thoughts, can't express their emotions, or none of that. No. I'm saying, like, being humble as in being open to growing, like, to grow, always being willing to grow, always being ready to open themselves up to new things, being supportive, not being toxic, not being narcissistic. Okay? Like, both partners in the relationship, both got to be wise. They both cannot be narcissistic. Like, yeah, the husband can learn something from the wife too. If the wife got to take care of the husband as if the wife got to be the husband's mom, got to act like the husband's mom, it's not going to work out. And they have the right to break up slash divorce. And if the husband got to be the wife's daddy, sugar daddy, and got to act like he's her dad, act like he's her servant, whatever, it's not going to work out. And they have every right to divorce and break up after that. Like, break up for that. So, like, they have the right to break up if one has to treat another as a servant. Okay? God hates divorce, but he supports it. But he supports it when it needs to be done. Like, God hates divorce, but he knows very well that it's for the best when it comes to toxic relationships. Being submissive to your husbands does not mean being your husband's maid. It means being open to learning new things and not being loud, obnoxious, and toxic. not being a complete narcissist. And that goes both ways, regardless of it sounding one way. Like the husband can learn from the wife too. Both partners in a relationship got to be wise. They cannot be narcissists, they cannot be toxic. And if one is wise and the other isn't, it's not going to work out, and they have every right to break up and divorce because of it. And if none of them are wise, they have every right to break up and divorce because of it. I don't know why they're together. They shouldn't. They're gonna have ignorant babies. So yeah. So one thing is this. It's not only the it's not only the man, it's not only about man being the man of the house. Like, it's not only about being the man of the house and all that stuff. It's literally about what's going on in here. It's about what's going on. Like, are you willing to grow as a person? Like, because here's the thing, the man can learn from the woman. The woman can be just as wise. Like, men are not just naturally wiser than women, are not just naturally smarter than women, and vice versa. Okay, some women are smarter than some men, and some men are smarter than some women. It's not just men are wiser than women. It's not just men are wiser than women. Like, some women are wiser than some men. So it's not about just women learning from the man because he's a man of the house. It's about men and women learning from each other. Men and women of the house. Okay? It's not just about the man being the man of the house. It's also about the woman being the woman of the house. It's about equality in the relationship. Both parties need to be wise in this. Both parties need to get it together. Both partners need to get it together. They need to be wise. They cannot be narcissistic. They have to learn from each other. It's not just one way. It's not just the wife learn from the man, because the man could be wrong. The man of the house can be wrong. So it's not just the woman needs to learn from the man. The man needs to sometimes learn from the women. The man doesn't always get it together. Like, the man can't always get it together. Like, they're human. They're human just like everybody else. They're human just like everybody else. They're human just like women. Like they're human just like us women. So it's like, when it comes to relationships, both partners are learning from each other. They're supposed to be helping each other out. Okay? It's not just the man supporting the women. No, they supporting each other. And people saying, like, include, and then I saw on the internet, like, how to be a submissive woman to your husband, and it says include your man in your financial accounts and stuff. I'll be like, nah, because when stuff goes down, you probably done spend up all my money. Like, no, I'm keeping my financial information separate from your name. Nope. All our stuff don't have to be, your name don't have to be on my stuff. Okay, I like to keep my things separate. And I know God is okay with that. So yeah, just looking up. So yeah, I looked up how to be a submissive woman to God, and they just didn't get it right. They just basically said, like, be a maid and all that stuff. some of the stuff that they did get right, like listen intently, be polite. So yeah. But husbands, but God is not only talking about the women to be submissive to their husbands. Husbands also need to be submissive to their wives. It's both ways. Husbands, like his husbands got to be open to learning new things. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to be human and make mistakes. Like, you don't have to get everything right. Like this is why they call it partners. You're supposed to be in this together. Husbands can learn from the wives too. So yeah, God bless.